to control. So you think it might be Fickley's turn tonight?
Well, you've got your annual cricket club do tonight. It's possible.
Aye, it's a good do. Cricket club dance. Wish I were taking Beth. Half the village will be there.
Oh, it's the only thing that'll drag them away from their tellies in a dark winter's night, leaving the houses nice and empty. So watch out.
What do I do if I see his fella Thomas? Do I stop him?
No, report him.
What's he look like?
That's Georgie Thomas. These other three are known associates. John Knowles, Ernest Bishop, and Albert Harrington. They've all got form.
Well, where's Thomas hang about?
Leeds.
Sort of vehicles he use?
Well, they're different ones. Now, when Hinton had its hunt dance, he was seen 2 miles away at 2:30 a.m. in a blue Bedford van.
Who saw him?
Oh, the area copper. Report him to Calais next morning. 4 houses done in Raleigh that night.
What was he driving up at Thorpedale?
Thorpedale, British Legion Social, 5 houses done. Thomas seen in vicinity at 1:40 a.m. driving a green Fordson 30 hundredweight. And there you are. 2 sightings, 2 series of break-ins. And both on nights when there's been a big local hop-on.
Aye, too. Could be a coincidence. I mean, it's hardly a pattern, is it?
Well, how many do you want for a pattern?
Well, the boss would want one more.
Well, I'm not going to wait for the boss to chase me up about it. If this villain operates on my patch, I'm going to catch him.
Well, it's my patch, too.
Oh, sure, I'll need your help.
Yes, together with my acute powers of observation, expert local knowledge.
Some hot tea to keep the cold out.
Ta, love.
You spoil him.
You could get yourself a wife and get the same.
No, too busy.
Too busy doing what? Studying for your promotion exam?
Nope, catching thieves.
Oh, as keen as our Ron is after him before they've even thought about it in Fickley.
Look, I'm serious about this fellow, Thomas. Crime intelligence keeping 1 step ahead.
Pity you don't think about traffic and administration sometimes. You'd make a sergeant.
Your wife's getting at me again.
Yeah, she's quite right, too. Are you on duty tonight?
Well, I'll be in the office from 10:30 onwards. You can call me out if anything happens.
What are you doing with yourself till then? You've got a couple of hours. You could be doing some studying.
What, here?
Well, why not? He won't open a book unless someone stands over him.
Sorry, Beth. Tied up.
What with?
Oh, I'm meeting an informant.
I bet. That's just an excuse to go drinking. You CID fellas are all the same.
Wrong, Beth. It's hard life. Terrible hours. Drinking's part of the job. Need a hard head, tough liver. Oh, lucky you can stay healthy.
Why don't you drink bitter lemon?
Teetotal Jack? He'd lose all respect. No one would talk to you. Besides, I like me ale.
I'm surprised you can stay sharp enough to do a job properly.
Oh, I'll stay sharp enough. Don't worry about that. Oh, some of the villains have nicked.
Ta-ra, love. Don't wait till.
I won't.
Good night, Beth.
Good night.
We should have stuck to the main road, I said. Oh, shut up. There'll be something along in a minute. Come on. I've got something in my shoe. That lot of good there'd be after walking through this lot. Come on. Or let's wait here in the light. Come on. Oh. Look, I said. Oh, I hope it stops.
Hey, you going near Fickley?
You going to that dance, are you?
Yeah. Hey, have you got room for 2 little ones?
2 like you, sure. Hop in.
Come on.
What? All right. Okay.
A man?
A burglar. I was upstairs. I came down and there he was, by the window. Well, what are you going to do?
Call the police, of course.
Control to 501. 501, are you receiving? Over.
501 receiving, over.
Mount Park, Norway Lane, Fickley. A break-in. Householder's name is Winter. Can you deal with this one? Over.
Yeah, I can be there in 2 minutes, over.
Time for 21:55 hours. Over and out.
Well, he doesn't seem to have taken anything. I suppose that's something to be thankful for. You must have surprised him.
Well, give me one too. A big one.
What did he look like?
You haven't asked a damn thing about me, have you? Like how I might be feeling. Oh, no. I don't even get a drink unless I ask for one.
You've got one.
Thanks a lot. Oh. What made you come home so early?
Lucky I did, isn't it?
Girlfriend in London? Chuck you out, did she?
Very funny.
Maybe I better write and thank her. After all, she stopped me from being beaten up, robbed, murdered, quite likely.
Now, there's no need to get hysterical. Nothing's happened.
And that's a miracle. Night after night you leave me alone here. How would you like it, being alone in a dump like this, miles from anywhere? Anything might happen.
You're exaggerating as usual.
Am I? You expect me to answer it? My God, what a selfish...
All right, all right.
Mr. Winter, Crosswood Park.
Oh, yes, come in, officer. Mr. Parkin's come to investigate your attempted murder of my wife. Would you like a drink, Mr. Parkin?
No, thank you, sir.
Well, I need another.
You found someone in the house, Mr. Winter?
Yes.
Well, what's happened?
Well, I was going to bed and I heard this noise, so I came down, I put the light on, and there he was, by the window.
Well, the window was open.
Yes.
You hadn't left it open.
Well, of course not.
Was it fastened?
Yes. Well, no. Well, I'm not sure.
And then?
And then he jumped out.
Some footprints out there. Did you see anything, Mr. Winter?
No, I just got home. I was getting out of the car when I heard my wife screaming.
You didn't see anyone running away?
Nope.
Do you see anything parked nearby? A car or a van?
No, Now, wait a minute. There was something parked about 30 yards down the road. A biggish car. It could have been a van. I didn't really look at it. You know how it is. You don't...
Yeah, I know it is. Where was it parked?
Up the hill.
You didn't see it drive off?
Now, come to think of it, I heard something drive off.
Oh, I see. Well, what seems to be missing from the house, sir?
Well, as far as I can tell from a quick look round, nothing.
Oh, we'll check again in a minute. Well, this chap looked like, Mrs. Winter.
Oh, well, he was very ordinary looking.
Well, that's not much help to him, is it?
Well, nothing's been taken. He's got away. What does it matter?
What does it matter? 10 minutes ago, you were screaming blue murder. Oh.
It is quite important, Mrs. Winter. I mean, he may not have taken anything from here, but it could be someone we're looking for.
Oh. Oh, yes, of course. Well, he was, about your size. Only not fair like you. He was, dark-haired. Aged about 30, I suppose. Well, that's really all I had time to notice.
Well, here's the phone, sir.
Yes, right, it's over there.
Oh, I'm so sorry now, making all this fuss, putting you to all this trouble just for nothing.
Oh, that's no trouble, Mrs. Winter. What we get paid for. Extension 6, please. Hello, Ron. He's not there. No, it's all right. No, I'll get it. 501 to control, over.
Control receiving, over.
Can I have talk through to DC Radley, please?
Talk through on. Go ahead, 501.
501 to DC Radley.
DC Radley receiving, over.
Thought you were in the office.
I got held up, over.
All right. Look, there's been a break-in at Fickley. I think it's connected with what we were discussing earlier. Can you come over?
Sure, but where is it?
It's at Mount Park, Norway Lane. The name's Winter. Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Look, are you all right?
Of course I'm all right. I'll be right over.
All right, sir. CID chap. Be over in a couple of minutes.
What a pair of beauties they were. That's just my luck, picking up two crackers like that, and then having to kiss them goodnight.
Kissing, you call it? I thought you were eating them.
Fantastic they were.
They were jailbait. I bet neither of them was 16.
Yeah, they grow up very quick these days. And who's complaining?
We've still got 3 jobs to do, remember?
Yeah, business before pleasure, I suppose. But it was hard to let them two go.
Stupid git.
Eh?
This is the last lot of jobs I do with you.
Something bothering you, is it?
You could have mucked everything up.
Oh, do me a favour.
You don't see it, do you?
See what?
The risks you run. Drawing attention to yourself like that.
I was having a bit of fun. Who'd noticed that?
The girls did.
They loved it.
You're an amateur, that's your trouble. I don't like working with amateurs.
Amateur? I've done more jobs than you have, mate.
And done years more time for them.
Yeah, well, that's experience. I think you've got a dead nerve calling me an amateur.
You're even an amateur with the birds.
Who picked them up, then? It was me that fancied, mate, not you.
Who are you kidding? That little one fancied you so much you nearly bit your hand off.
Bit more time with that one, I would have talked her round to it.
Rubbish. You'd have got nicked for something nasty.
Me get nicked? For some country bobby out here? Don't make me laugh.
Would you mind if we close that window? I'm freezing.
Well, I prefer to leave it to my colleagues seeing it, if you don't mind. It could be him now.
Right, that's all right.
This colleague, you mentioned a Mr. Radley. Would that be Ron Radley?
Yes, that's right. Do you know him?
Slightly.
You got a good look at him, sir?
No, he's gone. Oh,
Good
this
evening,
is...
Mrs. Winter.
Good evening, Mr. Radley.
Oh, you two met, have you?
I have had the pleasure at the tennis club last summer, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you can find time to play tennis. I can't.
Oh, well, you have to keep fit in this job, sir. And any help from a charming lady like your wife is more than welcome.
I think he got out through the window.
Did he now? It's a nasty cold night, isn't it?
Well, aren't you going to examine the window for fingerprints?
I know someone else does that.
But yours are on it.
Yes, they would be. Then his will be on the other side, if he left any.
He doesn't appear to have taken anything.
Well, that's a good job. Well, and we don't like people stealing things, do we?
What are you looking for, then?
Well, he was disturbed, you say. He left in a hurry. He might have dropped something. Thieves are often very careless, you know. They're usually very frightened. That makes them careless.
Mrs. Winter saw him. She gave me a description.
Yes. And, what do you look like, Mrs. Winter?
Well, he was about medium size, brown hair, aged about 30, wearing a dark sports jacket and dark trousers, and...
You got that in your notebook?
Yes.
I'm afraid that's not going to help us very much, Mrs. Winter. There
Oh.
must be hundreds about like that.
Well, you show the photographs.
I left them at the station. Well, as nothing appears to have been stolen, sir, there's not much more we can do.
Much more? You haven't done anything yet.
I thought I saw some footprints out there.
Never.
There might be some jelly marks.
No, I looked.
Well, perhaps Mrs. Winter can give us a better description now she's recovered.
Is there anything else you can remember, Mrs. Winter?
Well, now then, let me think. Yes, I suppose he would be what you'd call quite good-looking. In a shifty sort of way, of course.
Oh, for God's sake, you don't expect burglars to look at the soul of honesty, do you?
There's no need to shout at me.
All right, all right. You saw nothing, he took nothing, and they'll do nothing.
And there's no need to be insulting to people who are trying to help.
I only called them in because you were screaming your head off about nothing as usual.
Well, you were quite right to call us in, Mr.
You
Winter.
were so damn neurotic, you probably dreamed it all up.
Oh, you're so...
It's all right, Mrs. Winter. We won't bother you any more. We'll let you know as soon as we hear anything, sir.
I can't bloody wait.
Good night, Mrs. Winter.
Good night. Thank you for calling.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night. Where did you say you met that plainclothes man?
At the tennis club.
Is he a particular friend of yours?
No? Why?
Well, I think I've got cause to complain about him. That's all.
What the hell do you think you were doing? An experienced detective mucking up an inquiry like that? Never been so embarrassed in all my life.
Just a minute.
What are you getting in for? You're too damn drunk to drive yourself, I suppose.
Just calm down before you say something you might be sorry for.
You made me look such a fool. I couldn't put it right without showing you up. Wish I had a done. You ought to stay off the beer, mate.
I've got a good mind to thump you. You couldn't see for looking, could you?
I'm surprised you could see at all.
I will thump you in a minute.
What couldn't I see?
All the windows were locked except that one.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it wasn't forced, it was open from the inside. Did you see the look in Mrs. Winter's eyes?
Yeah, she was scared.
Was that all?
Well, I don't look at other women that are.
Ah, if you weren't so damned heavily married, you might do your job better.
Look, leave Beth out of this.
Oh, look, if you looked into Mrs. Winter's eyes, you'd see them blinking out SOS messages.
Eh?
Oh, wake up. It was her husband she was scared of. She'd had a fella in the room and it was her that let him out the window.
Well, I know he'd come home unexpected like.
Oh, look, it was obvious. I'm not going to press home an inquiry and put her on the spot in front of her husband. You've got to be human in this job too, you know.
I'm not so sure you're right. You see, you think you're so damn clever. You know everything about women.
Well?
Oh, forget it.
Roll to 501.
501 receiving, over.
Bickley Village Hall. 2 girls complaining of assault. Control to 501, over.
Yeah, I'll be right there. 501 out. Well, what about Thomas now?
Well, it's all right. We'll go to the dance. He was left the house is empty.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am going to bed.
Oh, well, please yourself. I'm going to have another drink. What's this?
A cufflink.
Well, I know it's a cufflink, but it's not one of mine. Whose is it?
The man who broke in, of course. Who else?
You haven't been playing around, have you?
No. I don't get the opportunity that you do.
Well, I'll hand it in to the police. Maybe they'll trace it.
Why don't you chase after them? They've only just gone.
Yeah, it won't walk away. I'll hand it in tomorrow.
Where did they pick you up, love?
Well, on the Leeds Road, just outside Winthorpe.
You stopped them?
Yeah, well, we just wanted to get to the dance, that's all, nothing else.
Oh, aye.
And now my jacket's all torn. I can't go in there now.
Well, what's happened when you got in the van? Perhaps you'd like to tell us, Sylvia.
Well, nothing at first. We were just riding along, you know, all squashed up in the front seat like. Then he stopped the van and he...
You were between the two men?
That's right. Joan was next to the driver. I was beside the other one.
Well, what's happened then?
Well, we knew they were going to try something. I mean, they didn't say they'd broken down or anything.
Oh, aye.
Well, the fella next to me started getting fresh. Oh, but I soon put him in his place. He wasn't too bad. It was the other one that was so horrible.
Yeah, he was the brute.
He was carrying on like a madman. He got so bad that his mate opened the door to let us out.
Well, he got scared, did he?
Oh, not scared so much. Annoyed. I said to the other fella, we've got work to do.
Work? On a Saturday night?
That's what he said.
Well, if they're working on a Saturday night, could help us trace them.
Yeah, well, I hope you do. A man like that, well, he should be put away forever.
Can you remember what kind of van it was, love?
Well, it was a green one. Not very big.
Do you know what make it was?
Oh, I don't know the makes.
Did you get his number?
I didn't have anything to write with. But I remember the letters.
Oh, that'll help us, love.
Yeah, well, it was, oh, I can't remember. But it was something EUB.
You say he called himself Georgie.
Yeah,
Did he have long, black, wavy hair?
yeah.
Well, now, I'm going to show you some photographs, and I want you to tell me if he's amongst them.
Yes, yeah, that's him. Horrible beast.
Now, he said he was visiting friends in Fickley.
Yeah.
Now, you look at the rest and tell me if his friend's there.
Yeah, that one.
Don't worry, love. We'll catch them.
Are you all right for getting home?
Yeah, Mrs. Perkins said she'd give us a lift.
Yeah, it's a green van. Registration ends in E for Echo, U for Uniform, B for Bravo. The occupants are George Thomas, age 25, height 5'11", with dark hair, wearing a buff wind cheater and dark trousers. He was accompanied by Albert Harrington, age 28, 5'9.5 inches, fair hair, wearing a navy blue donkey jacket, pale roll neck sweater and jeans. Both men are wanted for questioning assault on 2 minors and possible housebreaking offences. Over.
They're in the Fickley area now, are they?
Yeah, we think they're probably heading back for Leeds.
Thank you, 501. We'll pass your message to all cars. Over and out.
Oh, I don't suppose they'll have the luck to catch them ourselves.
Oh, you never know. We'll have a cruise round.
You can drop me by my car and I'll go towards Leeds.
You know, you think they'd have more sense.
Who? Thomas and Harrington?
Yeah, mucking up a job, chasing bits of skirt.
Oh, well, who ain't to complain?
Mr. Winter called while you were shaving.
Oh, aye.
He found a cufflink in his living room. Said it had been dropped by one of those burglars.
We'll get to Ron when he comes round. He's in charge of that one now.
Sharp.
He's come to catch some breakfast. We're in here.
Morning, Beth.
Morning.
You got any coffee? I've been up all night.
You've had no breakfast either, I suppose.
I'm not hungry, thanks. You don't mind eating whilst I smoke? I've been keeping myself awake with cigarettes. Just some coffee, eh?
Right, it's ready.
Hey, that was a lovely job, that. Crime car caught them at Crossley Junction, brought them back to me, and they coughed a lot. Hinton, Thorpedale, and the 3 jobs in Fickley last night.
4.
4?
The Winters.
That wasn't a job.
Was one of your men missing a cufflink?
Cufflink? I wouldn't know what a cufflink looked like.
Mr. Winter called in with this. Said the burglar must have dropped it.
The case is cleared up now.